Welcome everyone to this June Public Speakers Association Virtual Summit. It's good to have everyone here. I'm really excited about our speaker lineup. We have a lot of great speakers. All right, our next speaker is Ray Comeau. And Ray is an award-winning, best-selling author known for What Bad We Do. As an educational coordinator of a Reentry Ministry, Ray is dedicated to transforming lives through education and support for individuals reintegrating into society. Their impactful work and literary contributions continue to inspire and uplift communities. All right, so Ray, the virtual stage is yours. I think you're still muted.
Back in the
There you go.
Okay. Back in the 70s and the 80s, we had Playboy magazine. Then along the Playmate of the Year, that's how we were introduced into certain pictures. Then VHS tapes came, and we had adult entertainment centers. We had where a lot of houses, the older houses in the cities became these places of, everywhere very quiet, but you went in there to watch videos, okay? And these were porn. This was the beginning of the porn videos as far as the market goes. Then came the internet, and pornography has never looked back. Today, pornography is an epidemic. They call it the new drug. There are roughly 30 to 35 million addicts in the United States alone. They reach everybody that's online, okay? We try to educate our kids to not to go on certain places, but they're there. 80% of 8-year-olds have seen porn videos. You can say the 6-year-olds, they get 10, the 12, but they bring out the 8-year-olds. That 80% of them. When I started doing my research on this, I went to TEDx, I went to YouTube. All of them talked about the porn industry, what's happening, the actors and actresses that are in the videos. Some of these videos that I watched were 5, 8, 10 years old. Few were kind of more recently. I realized when I was writing my book, What Bad We Do, I have 34 problems in my book. I call them problems, not chapters, they're problems. One of them is pornography. When I was writing the book, I was given 2 callings, okay, to start my career in writing. The first one came 2010. I was going to buy something that I was, when you think about buying something and you say, well, I need a sign. God, please give me a sign whether I should, you go ahead with this, you go ahead with that about buying it. And I needed to make a phone call at 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. 4:28, okay, sitting at my desk, the flash just came in front of me. Believe in me. I had the rush of the air. It's a rush. You see this and you go, nah, what did I say? I was looking at it, and you felt it. You felt the feeling. It was there. And I said, no, so for the 5, you thought it was an hour, a couple of minutes went by, and I said, you know what? That was it. I saw it. It was unbelievable. You can't deny it, that I saw it. So I thanked God for that. I enjoyed knowing that now you go from a mental feeling, a belief that he's around. Now I had a mental and physical belief that he was around. 5 years later, I'm retiring from my cleaning business. I had a cleaning business, house and office, for 34 years. The last day, Friday, I was leaving on Monday, and I'm talking to one of my customers I was cleaning for 18 years, Pete. And I told him the story. I mentioned the story to him. And he said, Ray, what did you do about it? I said, Pete, what do you mean? He says, Ray, you were given a gift. People, it was like an awakening. I'm sorry. It was an awakening. It was a slap on the face. I said, oh my God, Pete, you're right. My mind started going so fast. This was 4 o'clock in the afternoon about. And I went, Pete, thank you. I was going to see him again. I'd go back and forth, but I was going home and I was getting packed. And the next day I woke up with what bad we do the next day. And okay, write a book. I never wrote a word, a printed word. At the age of 50, I found out I have ADHD. You have no idea. I was listening to a radio in the car, and they said, if you have 6 of these 8 things, you have ADD. And I listened, I said, I thought I almost 8 of them. And I pulled over, I cried for an hour. All the relationships, the jobs, you're 50 years old, and you find out. And I said, my God, what's happened? So here I am getting this calling to write a book. 3 weeks later, I needed to have a website, okay? And I said, what am I gonna, I knew nothing about a website. And I said, within the first few days, OurSoulsDirection.com. That's been it. I still have it today. And a lot of people, what that has to do? I started writing the book, The 34 Problems We're All Guilty of, most of us, okay? Lying, swearing, bullying, sexual abuse, all of them, adultery, anti-Semitism, racism, everything, and pornography. And the book was there to remind us, okay, to what we've done. A lot of people, there's bad things that people have done, and they go through and they forget about them, okay? They don't, some live with it, just forget about it. You go through life, but if you did something real bad, you're remembering. The guys I talked to that have been in prison, they go through life in and out, back and forth. The one thing, 90% of them that triggered them to stay out was God came and talked to them. That was, it said, God, Ray, John, you got to change your ways. One gentleman had his son killed while he was in jail, okay? John. And he was there for 20 years, okay? They came one day and they said, your son's been killed. And he started getting angry. And he said, I got to be put, he said, he went to the warden and said, please put me in solitary. He says, I'm going to hurt somebody. I says, I get out in a year. He says, I'm going to hurt somebody. I said, I can't be out in the population. So they put him in solitary. While he was there, okay, he said, God came and talked to him. They said, John, you will forgive those who killed your son. He came out, he lived the rest of the year, he got out, and he stayed out, and he lived it. So there's the people that have done a lot of bad things that are out there. So my book was to remind them, In the front of my book, also I say, with exception, okay? You can't, a lot of people, I've lost God, I know God's in a bad way, you can come back, okay, and ask forgiveness, okay? I'm not here to judge all the forgivenesses, all the things that people, no, but you can come back and start living a life and ask forgiveness. So that means a lot to people, because I'm going to get into something about this pornography in a couple of minutes. The third thing, and just recently within the last year, before I published my book, a year before, I changed the subtitle and I put the Don't Ever Cross the Line. We live in the beginning of our lives, there's a line, okay? All the bad things that I write about are on the other side of that line. Today, that line is like, it's wind. We go back and forth, okay, at ease. Some people want to move the line. I'm not comfortable with this part, with the line here. I'm not comfortable, but the line is the line, okay? You're watching all the movies. I've looked 50,000 movies mentioned, don't ever cross the line, hold the line. We have to learn again, relearn, okay, through, and I talk about it, self-esteem, all right? All the things that we start doing bad, okay, we're drawn across it, okay, we're through anger, through drugs, through a lot of different things. We're drawn across that line and do bad things. Some people want to retire tomorrow, okay? There's a guy that mentions it all the time years ago. Should I sell hamburgers or sell drugs? He said, I'm not going to work for $10 at McDonald's if I can sell drugs. Today, the average drug dealer is responsible for 500 deaths. They just came out with that just recently, and 500, not to mention the thousands of lives destroyed, all because I don't want to make $10 an hour. I want to do something. I don't care what. They don't care. They didn't care what they did. So that's why the line, draw the line in the sand. I used to have a line in the sand too, but the line that we should never cross. Pornography is exploding, but all these videos that I watched never mention the kids in the videos. Okay, you go into videos, these porn videos, the farther you go into it, and you stay in it, you go round and around, you go far and I started calling to some people quicksand. It's a perfect example of quicksand, that we get drawn into this tube, this suction, and we go farther down, and you're gonna find kids, 8-year-old, 10-year-old kids have been in there for a long time, but now it's becoming even worse. But they're 8, 10 years old. Sorry, I need to mention here, because we've been ignoring this for a long time. How'd the 8-year-old get there? They've been trafficked, kidnapped. Parents have sold them to get there. Can you imagine an 8-year-old being subjected to what they're subjected to? Where do they go to school? No, they didn't fail an app. All right, they were, excuse the expression, they were raped. Okay, at that age, it's a constant thing. Again, I have to apologize, but this is what's out there. People will pay more to watch an actual rape. Okay, 8-year-old, 10, 16. It's been going on for a long, but they've got it down to sign. What I've done, I've seen this. I started a course. Okay, I started in a few weeks. How to teach people how to stay out of porn. Okay, stop watching it. They're addicted so bad. Do you know, there's 8, 10, 12-year-olds that have been addicted to porn for over 10 years, 12 years. Okay. Daily. Okay. They're so ashamed. The big shame is coming, I think, from watching the kids that are in these. You people left church. They because they're so ashamed, they don't even go back into church. Name of the course is Stop Watching Porn, Save the Children and Yourself. I guess my thought is both, more for the kids. Okay, the kids are the pain, but for the adults also. Okay, they got to get out of it. They have to get relationships, marriages, all the things that are being destroyed. They can't get out of it. It's a constant menace to themselves, to their family, to they're around. We got to reach them. I just finished yesterday. I was telling Brian. I put a petition on change.org. Do you know it's the only damn petition on there that mentions pornography? Of all the different things that are on there, I mean, all the different problems, there's nothing there about pornography, changing pornography. Okay, so it's on there. Last night, I spoke with the director of the organization I belong to. They have a 501(c)(3). We're going to start a group later this next couple of months. We're going to get it going. Kids United Against Porn. Kids. Can you imagine that 10 years ago that you would say, what? Kids United? What's that? Now it's like, why isn't it they started already? We're so used to, so that is coming. In the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be finishing a course about going to high schools and colleges about teaching this. That's your big market for the pornography market is young, 16 to 24 years old is like 60% of the market. Do you think when I was that day when I retired, and I was, goodbye. I'm coming to Costa Rica. I live in Costa Rica. My wife is from here. That I was going to start this, and as a minimum, this has been the most rewarding part of my life, and I'm not done. I'm not done. Okay, I turned a week ago, 76 years old. I'm not done. Okay, I was on 4 Toastmasters on the internet, and I won them. And they said, Ray, you didn't win it because, how you do things, but you win it because you're passionate. You got to have passion when you're doing something. Whatever you're doing, okay, have passion. That's what I have. I hope you have it. It's a lot. It's meant a lot to me. It's going forward. I'm going to do a second book, Why We Do the Bad We Do. One of the biggest reasons why, excuses. We can live an excuse until we actually believe it's fact. Okay. You read my book and some of the things that are in there. And I know people are not going to like some of them. I'm re-editing the book, and I kept out one of them. So it's coming. It's here, but I just, whatever you do, have a passion for it. Bring it into your life. Bring God into your life. I try not to, some of you mention God. Oh my God, he's talking about God. They're going to click you off. Well, I'm sorry. 80% of the world believes in the next life. Guess who's got the key? You do. Okay. That soul that you carry around. What you put on the soul is what that's how you're going to get in. I'll tell you, there's a lot of guys. You better bring a bathing suit and some tanning lotion, because I think you're going to be stopped. So thank you. I hope I've been enlightening. I'm enlightening. I need to express that very much. Okay, Brian, back to you.
Any questions for Ray? Doreen?
Ray, I do hope you stick around and hear my presentation as well. I'm very, very passionate as well about the youth. But one thing I'd like to encourage you to do is, whether in the book or even in your speaking, is to please seek a solution. As Elliot Connie taught me and others, there's problems in the world, a lot of problems. But what is the solution? Let's work together to find the solution. Okay? So stick around, because I want you to hear my presentation as well. Maybe we will be working together for the solution. And I'm glad that you're writing your second book, Why We Do the Bad We Do. And hopefully there will be a solution that will save some children and some adults' lives as well. I truly believe in God, and I have a calling on my life too. I enjoyed your presentation, and I thank you very much.
Just reading the book is the solution. It's nothing in there that says don't do this, don't do that. You got to know first. The first thing is to know. Just read down and say, oh, I'm guilty of this. There's people who are guilty of one or two things, and there's guilty of 5, 6, 7 things. You got to know. You got to know first. I couldn't put everything in one book. I wish I could have, but I could put everything in one book. Thanks, Doreen.
So Ray, the question I have is,
Yeah, Brian.
what do you plan to do through change.org? I mean, like do you have to get like a certain number of people to sign the petition on change.org? And then once you do, what happens from there? I mean, are you trying to like change some US laws or a state law, or what's going to happen after?
It's on there. You have to start promoting. Okay. That was done yesterday. Okay. By tomorrow, tonight, I'm on the call, our group call. I start announcing there. We have like 300 or 400 members there. Facebook is going to have it starting by this weekend. You have to start promoting. It's the ball that's need to be pushed down the mountain. The snowball. There's things coming. There's things you can do on change.org to promote it. So it's coming. It's a slow process, but there are people that will get onto it. I will start looking for influencers. Not to buy my book, not just know that there's people like even Doreen. Okay, that there's organizations, there's people that are out there, celebrities promoting certain programs. Okay, Matthew McConaughey. Okay, he's in 20 states teaching self-esteem. Okay, it's an ongoing process. Okay, it's an ongoing process. Will I do it? Yes, with the help. You need help. We're not in it alone. Okay, we're in this together. You have to ask. Jack Canfield, I spoke with him on interview for TV with Jack Canfield. You have to ask. Okay, so I'm going to ask. I'm going to call him Yeah, soon. Not ready. Let me get 1,000 people on here. And I can pull them, but I'll pull them.
Okay, so what should all of us be doing? Like, should all of us go to change.org and would we do just do
Sign
a
up.
search, just do a search with your name or
Yes.
or just under pornography?
I have to, the title, the title that is actually chosen, End Child Exploitation and Pornography, a universal demand to protect innocence. So, End Child Exploitation is the beginning of it. And my name, it's there.
Okay,
Thanks for asking, Brian.
you bet. Anyone else? Any other questions for Ray? Okay, well, thank you, Ray. And